It's 6:14 for me right now. I'm about to leave the office. To be honest with you, I didn't feel like making a video. I really don't have a topic, but I was getting caught up on my LinkedIn DMs. I had about 24 unread messages and a lot of people reaching out, thanking me for the channel, saying how much they like the content. I really appreciate your support. It's one of the things that keeps me going and fires me up, and honestly was a motivator to say, I need to make a video today, even though I'm not feeling like it. A lot of people make asks of me. They say, I want to set up a call. Can you refer me? Can you do X, Y, Z? All across the board. And I do my best to read it and give the best response I can to say, here's how I can help, here's how I can't help. And my takeaway is that when somebody asks something of me, if they don't give me a compelling reason to do it, I'm gonna say no. And I want to talk about time in today's video, how I think about time, how I structure my time, and some ways to rethink the way you spend your own time. And I think that that's really important because time is arguably our most important asset. The one thing we all have in common, no matter who you are, no matter what your name is, no matter how much money you have, is that we all have 24 hours in a day. And we have the free will to decide how we choose to spend our time. At least most of us, and all of you watching the video have the opportunity to decide how you want to spend your time. So when I'm reading through these messages, I say no to almost everything because I personally learned that I need to be ruthless with my time. It may sound selfish, but let me explain. In the beginning, when I first started making content and I started getting attention and people reached out to me, it made me feel special. I got excited. And I would set up calls with anyone who asked me to set up time with them. And then over time, I realized it feels good to help them in that moment, but it's actually not a good use of my time because it doesn't allow me to engage in the activities that create the most leverage, such as speaking to you right now, making a video that's gonna reach a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand people. So if you're not, the rule of thumb for me is if you're not fully excited and you read it and you say, I wanna do that, if it's not 100% yes, then it should be a no. And I think that this is something that I used to struggle with, and this is something I see in a lot of the people I used to run around with, is you do things because you want to impress others and or you don't want to upset others. You want to go along with what's expected of you. Meaning, in my old life downtown Dallas, it was always going out, it was partying, it was drinking on the weekends, and it was almost like, oh, you don't want to go out tonight? You don't want to hang out with us? Like, what's up? And maybe it's just, oh, I want to have a chill night and watch a movie. They're like, are you okay? And it's almost this expectation of how you should be spending your time. You are the boss. You are the leader of your own time, of your own calendar. So something to keep in mind, prioritize your time because your time allows you to spend time on the activities that you want to do. So 8 through 5, 8 through 6, you're working on your job, trying to find a job, whatever you're doing. But I encourage you to reevaluate and ask yourself, how are you spending that 6:30 to 9:30 p.m.? How are you spending 5 a.m. to 7 a.m.? Those are your windows to work on your side hustle, to better yourself, to work on your passion, hobbies, interests. And I used to live in a life with roommates and I would see them come home, open a beer, watch TV, and waste time, leisure, which is okay. Depends on what your goals are until they go to bed. And then it's this repeated cycle the next day. And you're always wondering, why isn't my life getting better? But you're not actually taking the activities to get better. I believe in order for my life to get better, I need to get better. And one of the key ways I do that is by learning. I listen to podcasts. Speaking of my podcast, first link in the description if you want a new podcast. I watch videos like this. I read books. I'm always seeking in knowledge in my free time so that I can apply it to my main job, my main occupation. And the biggest change for me that's allowed me to make this channel, to try and impact as many people as possible, to make more money from a side hustle, was just a simple switch of saying, what are the 3 things that actually are the biggest wastes of time, and how can I replace them with productive habits? So I looked at it and I said, sports gambling, massive waste of time. Playing video games, massive waste of time. Watching TV, massive waste of time. So it was one after the other. When it came to video games, I just said, you know what? I need to be done. I am so competitive. I'm hardwired to be the best. I would freak out. I would play online NBA 2K and Madden. I used to be really good at 2K. And I got to a point where I realized I don't have enough time to be able to compete with these top guys because I simply can't put in that much time because I have a job. So I said, it's not even worth it. And then it was right then and there, I literally just got rid of my Xbox. I put it in our garbage room, somebody took it, and I was okay with that, because some people may say, oh, why didn't you sell it? You just gave it away. And that was probably one of the best investments I've made in myself, just giving it away for free so I didn't have to worry about it or burden myself with going home and falling into the trap of, let me just play one game. And then the next thing you know, you're not doing anything in the evening. Sports betting. This was one of the worst habits for me. Over the weekends, I would be bored. I'd be drinking with friends. Sports would be on. And you'd be like, let me gamble on the games. And then naturally you're chasing your losses, and nobody wins in sports gambling. So it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of money, and it's a waste of energy, because some Mondays I would go into the week and I'd be down a couple $100 before the week even started, and it just makes things even that much harder. And then as we think about watching TV, I pretty much just got rid of my TV. I don't have sports. I haven't watched a single NCAA basketball game this year. Someone was like, March Madness this week, and I'm like, I didn't even know that the games were happening. So that's how disconnected I am at this point, because I realize it's like watching TMZ or the tabloids. You watching those sports, you're not on the team. It doesn't matter if you're a fan or not. If they win, that doesn't impact you. It may make you happy in the short term, but you don't benefit at all from it. So why not spend that time on an activity that's actually going to benefit your future, such as a side hustle, making a channel like this, a podcast, writing a book, YouTube channel, I mean, really a blog, whatever it may be. Spend that time on something that's going to further your life and your goals, because if you're a young person like me, if we do this for a couple years, it's going to pay off, and it's going to allow us to live life on our terms, when we want, however we want later in life. And that's what I'm striving for. It doesn't always work out like that. Like a day like today, I feel like I didn't make any progress, and it's been really challenging recently. And that's why I was like, I don't even want to make a video. But then I was like, well, I have to make a video. I feel like an obligation to make the video, share what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling. This is behind the scenes. This is at my desk. And I'm just talking to you as if I'm talking to a friend, whatever it may be. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and got some value from it. If you did, hit the like button now. I'd really appreciate it. And it also really helps. Subscribe to the channel. And if you don't want to subscribe to this channel, it's okay. But do subscribe to the first link in the description, my new podcast. I just want it to be big. I want it to be so big. And I want to be able to, there's guests that I want to get that you would love to hear from. But I don't feel ready to reach out to them until it's bigger. And I want to be the biggest on YouTube, the biggest sales podcast on YouTube. Right now, there's another one. He's got 6 million views total over a couple years. So I want to be the biggest sales-based YouTube podcast. That is what we are going for. We need big guests to do that, and I can't do it without your support. So I'm going to earn it. I'm going to bring on the best guests. I'm going to add as much value as I can, and in exchange, hopefully earn 20, 30 minutes of your attention once a week. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.